Come on. Episode 2, baby. You already know what it is. It's a Big Bro Show. Trying to be a role model to the youngins. Just give them something to look at and be like, okay, I can do this without going the wrong way. So, hey, we got to get to the ladies this episode. We got to the men last one, running down a couple of people. Shout out to everybody who made that one, whoever watched it. I appreciate that. I'm not looking for a whole lot of views. I'm just looking to inspire somebody. So, we're gonna roll like that. This is a women's one, so let's go ahead and get to it, man. My mother, um, she is an inspiration to me in what I do now, and not only the people in my family, but the people in her own area right now. She does um, a lot of work with like women's centers and children's centers and homeless shelters and trying to really get the women of the greater Orlando area to a point where they feel confident in themselves, can be self sufficient, and also love God. So I really appreciate my mom. She did a lot of time in the military, 27 years, um, lieutenant colonel, just so many accolades. But I feel like she would say her greatest accolade is having her children be successful. I think that would. I mean, I can't speak for her, but that's a big feat, a real big feat. So I appreciate her. It's really hard to be a woman in the military. Not only that, a black woman in the military, and for her to do it for so long, and to not really redistribute what she got to us, even though you got to keep your house in order, but for the time that she was in the house, she made sure everything was how it's supposed to be, so when she wasn't there, it ran smoothly. um, and that takes a toll, being away from your kids too, that you don't really understand as a child, but I definitely do understand as an adult and as a parent myself, just having to go to work and then leaving my child, my wife at home. I sometimes I have that guilt about missing out on moments. I come back home and he's already learned so many things with just in the time I've been going at work. So I can only imagine having to be gone for any extended amount of time, and then coming back and your child is different. Just in like the growing ages of a child. So um, I really appreciate my mother. She is um, a person that women and young women can definitely just look up towards and pattern themselves behind and get to a level of success in themselves that they can be proud of. I really do thank her for that. I got my sister, man, my sister T, to hear her. People always mispronounce her name. Oh man, to just butcher it, but to hear her, if you don't know. Man, that's my second mom. Wow. If my mom wasn't there, my sister was always pulling in, and she is just the most. When they say righteous, that's a person that is truly righteous, man. That is a person who I've never, like when Michelle Obama say, when they go low, you go high. That is a person who truly lives that. I ain't never seen her try to do anything spiteful or get somebody back, or, try to make sure, oh no, I'm gonna take this from them. So I mean, she has a power to do so, but she's just always a person is right is right and wrong is wrong, and she'll give anything that she can and help out. Man, she helps out with my son so much. She helps out with me. I mean, there's so many stories with me and my sister. She really kind of let me be me and kept me safe as I did it, so that nobody can get over on me. Nobody could mess over on me. So I really appreciate my sister so much. Just I wouldn't have truly not anything that I have right now without the help of my sister in some way. So man, I love you. Um, uh, my aunt Zakia, she made me realize that you have to go as hard as you would for yourself, as you would for your kids, as you would for your family. Um, that's somebody who got your back. That is somebody who always displayed so much loyalty that's why I have it so fervently, is because you know people, when they call on you, they expect you to go for back for them, and most people don't call you unless they really need you. Now you will understand the people who always call for frivolous reasons, but she was a person that you can call on and get results. Much like my sister, they're really akin in that they will take a hold of a situation and push it forward. Um, Regardless of the variables that are in the situation. Many a days, me and my brother and my sister would go down to her and my uncle Alan's house and hang out with my cousin Riasha, my cousin Lena, and just chill and just enjoy ourselves. But she always, if something was, we were having some holidays or something, she's going to be in the middle of planning it, and she's the youngest. So, well, she's not the youngest. She's the only girl, but I say she's the youngest, but we really didn't account for my uncle. But yeah, man, mom's a kid, man. She's a staple, man. Next we're gonna go to my Aunt Bev. My Aunt Bev is was like the cool auntie. She was always, I mean, and look, I'm gonna be truthful. She was a cool auntie because she was not going to like butter anything up, and she was gonna give it to you straight, and she was gonna be her, and she didn't care about no one else talking about it. So, I mean, I love my auntie. I always had the best times going to her house because she always had a room for us, and it was nice and cold. And she was always cooking food, and she had a little heater in there. She had the movies with the big screen. And, oh man, it was just chill. And I could hang out with my cousin Markia, and we boo all day and hang out. And she always had she still got the same house. She got a big old yard, and it's always been a good time going to her house. And man, it's just, that is a person who, if you want to have a good time and go hang out with my auntie, man. She's just a good woman, man. My aunt Linda is like, is is like the most thoughtful out of all of them. I feel like my aunt Linda will send a text every day. And I know it's not just a random ass text, because the weather will match up with the weather. The weather that's going on today. Like, if it's sunny, it'll be like a little sunshine on it. If it's raining, it'll be a little rain. I be reading them. I can't read all of them, but I be reading them though. And if I don't get it, I be like, man, something wrong with Linda. She ain't sent a text today. One time we got it at me and my wife, we get the same ones, and it came at like 8, and my wife said, "Hey, I'm Linda sending a text pretty late tonight." I said, "Right." It's just funny, man, that you do little things and you think that people don't notice, but when you stop doing them, people be like, "Hey, you ain't doing that no more. What's up? What's going on?" So I appreciate that. She's always that's my cousin Kojo Kalandri and Kamari and Kaya. That's they mama, and man, we used to go to their house growing up, man, in New Orleans, and boy, they lived in the deep part of New Orleans. So they just tell us about stuff that was going on, and they was way older than me. So I'm just like, what? And my aunt Linda, she was just, she's just her, man. I love her to death, man. She just always smiling, and don't you say nothing mean to her, cause I'm gonna get on you. So check on that. Who else we got? Mont Dawn. Man, Mont Dawn is like, she was the closest to my own mama out of all my aunts, at least to me. Um, she was just like, she was just a real blessing to see every summer when I went to go visit my cousins and my uncle Bilal, because she was just like, You know what? She was like Snow White. You know when she cleaning and she starts singing and the birds come out and stuff. That's how she was just around the house. And maybe I'm playing it up, but she was just so nice, just so sweet, and just always like, "Man, you just so smart," and just like, "I hope college be just like you," and all that. Just like, I don't know, maybe boosting my head up, but still, like, you don't really get that too much as a kid. That's genuine from a person who is like really about themselves and about their family, and she's really attentive and understanding like what different people like and different stuff like that. So it's just, and I just, you have to have those nice women in your life to be a good man. I think a lot of men aren't nice to women because they hadn't had enough nice women. Not putting this on women or anything, but I've had so many nice women in my life that I don't really allow too many mean women in my presence now that I'm a man. Like when I was a kid, I had to allow it because I really didn't have the say so, at least for myself, to dictate who's around me. But now I do, and oh man, just the love that I had, the love I had of my aunt Dawn and all my other aunts is just it's just amazing. I'm gonna slide into some of the teachers. One of the first teachers that really, school wasn't about learning, even though I always had good grades in school, but really it was about like self confidence, really social interactions and stuff like that. So Miss Dean, man, she was my third grade teacher. She was just amazing, real tall. I think she had to be at least 6 foot. I mean, this is a child saying it. She probably was like 5'8", but like she was tall, like taller than my mom, and she was tall. Like anybody taller than my mom when I was a kid was tall, and she was real slim. She had long hair and glasses, and she was real cool. And she was like, I bet she was like just like a young teacher, but she didn't know the impact that she made on all the young boys. Cause she was always like making sure we was memorable to the girls in class. Like she wouldn't let you know how like the kids do the boys picking on the girl type stuff. She ain't let that fly, and I always appreciated that because um, it kind of kept everybody in place and kept everybody cool. Because mainly it's gonna be the dudes that's gonna be making all the ruckus in the classroom. So if you can kind of hamper down all the dude ruckus, you have a good class. And man, it was a great class, man. I really respected Miss Dean, and she really kind of patterned how I expected teachers to treat me. So then Miss Dallaportis. Dallaportis is my fifth grade teacher. She was an old white lady, and man, she was like a real old Florida white lady. But she was so nice to me, like preferential treatment nice to me. Like, oh man, I remember when I was a kid, I burnt myself real bad on my chest, and so I went to school and I had like blisters and boils on my chest, and I had passed out during PE class. And so when I got back in, she was like, "What's wrong? They tell me you passed out." And so like they send you back to the classroom first. They think it's just Florida heat, and shouldn't have them kids out there playing in that Florida heat, but we was out there playing, and so they thought it was just that. So I lifted up my shirt. I said, "No, I burned myself," and she was so in shock. She called everybody who she can call. They got me to the hospital. I mean, they got me to the nurse's office, and then from then they called my mom. My mom brought me to the hospital. It was just a whole big ordeal, but she was so concerned. I remember a time where uh, me and my this is like a big no chewing gum rule in school, and so um, I don't care. I never follow rules. My dad always said following rules is for losers. So I had some gum. I'm chewing gum. I don't care. And the gum was big. It was that 5 gum too, that blue pack. So I had that 5 gum. I slipped it. I'm chewing it down. And we on the line. We in the front of the classrooms waiting to go into class before school. And so my brother Zach is like, "Hey man, let me get some gum." I'm like, "Nah man, you ain't getting none of this gum. You ain't trying to get in trouble." He said, "Man, all right, let me get some gum." So I give him a piece. He started chewing, but he chewing loud, loud, loud. He trying to blow bubbles and stuff. As Dallas Porters catch him, he gonna say, "Oh, Aaron chewing gum too." I swallowed mine. I said, "No, I'm not." She said, "Well, I caught you." Now, mind you, she saw me chewing gum, but I think we had a kind of relationship that she knew that I was gonna get way more trouble than he was gonna get in. So he got in trouble. I slipped past. Man, tell me how he done snitched and I got in trouble too. Still got the whooping, even though I get in trouble with the teacher. He didn't snitch and say, "Yeah, you was chewing gum too." So I got the whooping too, man. I got the by proxy whooping, man. That was so hot. But respect for Miss Dow Portis, man. She was always looking out. Who we got next? Miss Bennett. Miss Bennett was my 7th grade drama teacher. She kind of started my interest in all the arts. You know, she was a short, redheaded, I'm assuming Jewish lady, man, but she was fervent on respecting the arts. I remember we watched the Romeo and Juliet with Leonardo DiCaprio and other shorty, and there were some girls in my classroom that were making fun of the girl who played Juliet in that movie. She turned the movie off and scolded them girls about talking. Their girls were like, "She is not a pretty enough actress to be Juliet." And my teacher flipped her wig. She was like, "Who are y'all to talk about how people look to play a role? It's a role. Anybody can play it." And them girls, and they was rich too. So mind you, they ain't never been talked like this, especially to a teacher of her stature, because she was real short. She was like 5'1", 5'2", like real short. And man, Miss Bennett gave them the business, and I respected it too. I almost wanted to clap behind it, cause she kind of was sticking up for everybody. She's definitely, you know, probably still teaching now because of how good of a teacher she was. But she was sticking up for all the lesser than girls and people in that classroom that weren't the prettiest, they weren't the most popular, but still wanted to be an actor. And shoot, I was lumped in there. You know, I wasn't the top tier of anything, but I still was trying to be better. So I respect Miss Bennett, man. She really honed in my skills, taught me how to read lines, taught me stage direction. You know, we went out down in South Florida, got a superior, got a trophy. Um, uh, did a couple one act plays, man. We performed in front of the whole thing because we got a superior, so we were like one of like the standout people. So we performed twice. Then I got on the stage in front of like at least a couple hundred, maybe like maybe not, maybe the auditorium maybe holding like 400 or 500 people. You know, performing and stuff in front of. It's crazy. Went on a charter bus, stayed overnight in a hotel. First time I stayed in a hotel away from my parents with other kids. Man, it was crazy. It was a great time. Uh, so shout out to Miss Bennett, man. We still have our plaque and our trophy in Markham Woods Heights, Markham Woods Middle School, in like a frame, you know. So if you go to Markham Woods in drama classroom, you're gonna see a picture of me in there. What else? Who else we got? Miss Caldwell. That's my 12th grade English teacher. Elderly black lady. Hope she's still living. Miss Caldwell is the greatest English teacher. She really honed in my writing skills. Man, my writing skills are immaculate, to be honest with you. I am a great writer. My 12th grade, they call our like our dissertation, like our writing project for 12th grade. We had to do a bunch of stuff, like a giant report, poems. We had to do we had to do a bunch of stuff, and so I have it all like compiled together. And for the poem, I actually like won the standout of the class, and she read it in for the whole class, and was surprised that I wrote it. And not only that, another teacher came in, Miss D, and she read it again. And Miss D was like, "Who wrote that?" She was like, "Aaron." And she was like, "You wrote that?" And I was like, "Yeah, I was into, writing and all that." So it was about like child homelessness. Um, and I think it was it was either in iambic pentameter or whatever those 7571 is. It's either one of those. Um, I think it had to be both. Um, and so it was a iambic pentameter haiku, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Um, but I really had to challenge myself. And she was like a teacher that if it wasn't good, she just put F on it. You didn't even try F. Like, she failed so many kids. And I think I ended that class with a B or an A. Cause like that kind of pushed me over to graduating with honors. So I really respect Miss Caldwell. Who else we got? Who else we got? Let's go to friends. Growing up, uh, I moved so much, so it was hard for me to keep friends. So I make close bonds with people really quickly, and then end up having to like never hang out with them again. So it's terrible that I made so many small relationships with people over time, and had, thank God for Facebook. I mean, that's the only really reason why I can even keep in touch with them now. But Kayla um, is like the first girl that I had was a friend that I was like, oh, you are beneficial to have in my life. Like she was like, she lived down the street from me. She was Filipino. My step family was Filipino, so they always was cool with that. And she just give me like girl insight. I really didn't have a lot of girl insight, and I was like in early middle school. So you're just like, you're learning yourself. You're trying to figure out like, why are we so different? So just like letting me know things like, oh, hey, X, Y, and Z girl likes you. Like, oh, I would have never figured that out unless you told me. When we moved, she threw us a going away party that was great. Going away pool. Who throws somebody a going away pool party? So I mean, I appreciate, and I was late because I had to play. So, um, let's see. Okay, I'm gonna talk about two people at one time, but I have to mention them in junction because this really shaped how I am with women. Molly and Veda. I was in class with both of them in French class in high school at the same time. One sat on this side of me, one sat on this side of me. And I was young and trying to be cool and a player and all that stuff. But I'm not that I was trying to talk to them or either of them, but I didn't know how to stand in my own truth as a man and not be wishy washy to whatever girl was in your face at that time. And so that's what I totally was. So Molly was like the young young white girl who was like naive of the world around her, and Veda was like the older light skinned girl who was like, "Hey, I'm gonna warn you about them white girls." And so I was taking two different perspectives in at the same time on topics that were happening in life. Like, as you were a kid, you talk about stuff that's happening in life, and those two perspectives were hitting me at the same time because we had a lot of downtime in French class, and so I'm just getting hit. I'm just getting bombarded with these two opinions, and I'm trying to like play the middle, but you cannot play the middle with women. Women are going to pin you down on something that you're going to say, and especially if the other one's right there to contradict you, it is hard to wiggle out. So you gotta be stand firm in how you believe and what you're going to say. So that tried me. Oh man, that tried me. So many days where I was just like, oh my God, y'all are frustrating me because I feel one way, but as soon as one of y'all talk, I feel the other way, and God forbid one of them wasn't there, I would completely flip on the other one. I was so fake. I hate that I can say this. Well, I love that I can say this now, but I hate that I was like that then. But I mean, man, when you got two women who aren't ugly, and with their opinion, and they like trying to influence how you are, it's hard not to just acquiesce as a young man. So you gotta be stand firm in how you believe. And even if you don't know how you believe, don't let either one of them sway your opinion. Just be neutral. Don't play the middle. Be neutral. Say I don't care either way, and whenever I get more information, I'll make my opinion. I think that's the best thing. So shout out to both of them, man. I think Veda's in flight attendant or something. Molly's married with a kid and stuff. So man, but those are like really people in my life. Like for a long time, Molly was my sister on Facebook, and people did not understand that. People were like, what? But man, we were cool, man. Beta is a person who definitely stopped me from talking to a lot of girls in high school because she kind of gave me some insight on different women. I'm gonna not say stereotypes, but I'm gonna say stereotypes. So she was like, "Hey, be wary," and so I appreciate both of them for that. Let me see, Kristen. Kristen was like my ace boon in 12th grade. School I went to, you were grouped by your last name. So she was Martin, I was Malik. So we were always in the same homeroom. But man, that was my bull, man. We would always hang out. People be like, man, that ain't your girl. I'm like, no, that's my homie. Like we would go to different spots, man. I'm gonna tell you about this time that we went out to her church had this like outing that you can invite people to. And she was like a 7-day Adventist. Now, mind you, I was a Christian. I mean, not I was, but, I was in like a regular Christian, stuff. 7-day Adventist ain't regular. That's like different. And I noticed that once I got there. Now, mind you, I did not know. I thought it was 7 days of Venice. I didn't know it was 7-day Eventus. I may even be wrong. I still don't know. But it was different. It was different. Wasn't a lot of me out there. And there was maybe one, and he was adopted. And they were looking at me like, who brought him? But I was cool though. Look, I am very good in white spaces. I'm cool in white spaces. I know how to be me and I mean, shh. So we went and got on the bus. It was me, her, and Morgan. We all went, and it was a good time because I was a black person in a white comedy space, and it was not funny at all. We went to downtown Orlando to this comedy club, nice comedy club too. And it was like this improv comedy. It's the first time I've seen like live improv comedy. It was terrible. You really should invest in local black talent when you start an improv group, because the yes and does not work if you don't have really funny people doing it. It was interesting to see the Christian dynamic, and we walked the town for a little bit and got some food, and I remember like, oh, this is very different. Like y'all are halfway proselytizing as we're walking downtown. Okay, this is definitely different. And on the way back, just her family dynamic was different. We were all like getting food and stuff, and so I paid for my own food. No, I didn't eat. I didn't eat. I don't know what they got, but I think they got some fast food and stuff, but like I decided not to eat or whatever because I'm picky and I don't like to eat in front of people too that I don't know. So I remember Kristen and Morgan split a drink, and that sent her little brother crazy. He went, "Mom, Kristen and Morgan are drinking out the same cup." He went crazy. I don't even know why that was a big thing, but man, that stuck in my head. I was just like, man, you think your family is one way, and you're like, oh, other people have their own quirks in their family too. So I didn't mean to put your business out there like that, but that was just a very interesting trip, man. A lot of times we had, man, just hanging and chilling, man. But that was my. Let me tell you, I gotta tell this one too. Man, my mama, we got out of school early. You know, when you're seniors, you be getting out of school early sometimes. And we had to run to my house and do something and get something. And then we were going to head back out. But she had to use the bathroom. So I let her use my little sister's bathroom. For some reason, my mama got home early. And she was like, she got the bright idea, oh, I'm going to catch him in the act type. Because I ain't had no car. Kristen had the whip. So my mama pulled sideways behind her, like to block her in, and bust up in the house. I said, "What's up, Mom?" She said, "Who car's outside?" I said, "Kristen." She said, "Where's she at?" I said, "In the bathroom." She in the bathroom. She said, "Oh, okay." I said, "Yeah, we ain't doing nothing." I said, "We just had to stop by his bathroom." She said, "Oh, hey, how you doing there, Mom?" fully, we weren't doing nothing. We was chilling, but it's like we was just, so cool that I ain't have a problem with, that wasn't even think in my mind. I was on the couch watching TV while she was in the bathroom doing whatever, So, man, shout out to Kristen, man. That was somebody who that's my first Instagram picture. Is us doing some T-Rex on Instagram. Came out when I was a senior in high school, so that just show you how old I am. Let me see. Shout out to Michelle, man. Michelle was a person who I met in college and kind of helped segue me into like being on my own. I moved in with her boyfriend Lewis, and she moved in too, like not shortly after, cause it was lit. I mean, we was the men on campus. To be honest with you, you really wasn't like if you went to UWF in 2013, 14, 15, you knew me and him. I'm gonna just keep it there. And she was there right there with us. She was right there in the trenches with us. So I mean, many a times with Michelle, I'm gonna have to tell them stories later. But man, us three, and I mean, their relationship was like, I'm not gonna say like tumultuous, but I'm not gonna say toxic. It was just like, how did y'all meet? How did y'all meet? How did y'all get together? And like being a roommate with a couple is crazy because like they arguments is halfway your arguments because you like I'm not leaving because y'all arguing. But like then they come out and then one want to vent to you and then he leave and then the other one want to vent to you. And I'm like, and y'all better get it together because we trying to make some money and y'all playing. I mean, lose by his money and so is Michelle, but like arguing ain't gonna get us some more money. So we got to get to it because that was a money making house. Entrepreneurial wise, I made a lot of money in that apartment, man. A lot of money made in that apartment, dog. Especially once we got all the money situations sorted out. Boy, it was. Hey, man, my entrepreneurial skills were birthed in that apartment. And shout out to Michelle because I wouldn't have met Lewis without her. We was in math class, and I wasn't even talking to her. I was writing down. She said, "Hey." I said, "What's up?" She said, "Hey, you want to go hang out at my boyfriend's house after school? Me and such and such, we about to go hang out." I said, "Cool, bet." And that was it. They were cool since then. That ain't that funny how you could just meet somebody and they change your whole life. If I'd have never met her in that math class, my life would not be the same today. I promise you, because that apartment right there changed to the trajectory of how I went in life. I mean, and you can take that for however you want it. But man, that was some good times. It was lit. All right, let me get some shout some honorable mentions. Shout out to Erin at GB, man. She really showed me that you gotta have fun in life. You are not about to be sad every day living in New Orleans. If you are not having fun and enjoying your life every day in New Orleans, you better move. Let's go. Shout out to Mama D. Man, that's my grandmother-in-law. Uh, Gosh, she is she is a person that's gonna make you think about yourself. You know, you sometimes will neglect yourself because you're worried about others, but she is a person that's gonna make sure you think about you, and I really do appreciate that. Shout out to Mama J. That's my mother-in-law. God, I love her so much. She is a bright light to a person in um, constantly trying to make themselves better for the better. You know, a lot of people change personalities as they get older, but not most time for the better. Most times people are the slippery slope down, but she kind of had that good trajectory back up, and just in these past, let's say, 6 years. And I appreciate it because now my wife has a great relationship with her. She has a relationship with me, and then she has a relationship with my son, our son, and it's a great thing, man. I really appreciate that they moved down here, well, down to Baton Rouge, um, like help out and be closer. So I really appreciate them for that. Let's see, First Lady Erica Jordan, man, she is she is selfless in a box. Um, and will always help you for your betterment, even if you don't want it. Which I appreciate because a lot of people don't take help because they feel like they take help they're lesser than. But she will help you and say, "Hey, I'm helping you because you are better. You are better than what you think of, and I'm only helping you because I know if I help you, you can be a help to other people. I'm not gonna help somebody who isn't worth the help, and I'm helping you because you're worth it." And she's made sure I've gotten paid on gigs that I wasn't gonna get paid on. Um, she's employing me now. Um, I appreciate everything that she's done. Um, so selfless that when she got awarded, she asked me some. She asked me for some pictures of her, and I told her I ain't got too many pictures of her by herself because every photo she's in, she's always grabbing other people to take photos with them to make sure they got something. Um, so I appreciate her for that. All my church member first ladies. Man, I can't get to everybody, but those are like the main women in my life, and all older than me too. Ain't nobody I mentioned. I mean, except maybe Caleb, but yeah, man, everybody kind of helped make sure that I treated women well in all perspectives in my life, and they're all different race, creed, sizes, colors, hues. I mean, I really respect all the women in my life because they kind of helped me realize that everybody is somebody's sister and everybody is somebody's mama. And by you treating women good, that makes it easier for the next man. You know, a lot of times men will complain, man, she treated me bad because the last man did her wrong. Well, she should, because you're probably going to do the same thing. And if you didn't, and if you show her better, maybe she'll let down those walls. Maybe she'll open up. Maybe she'll be more vulnerable to you. And so that's why I gotta say the last person for last, because this is the person who made me the man that I am currently. Is my wife, and I love her so much, and she is the best person for me, and I know that in my heart and soul, because that is the only person who has really helped me be a better me at ever since I first met her. The first time we like really hung out, I was telling her I was having some problems with my skin, I was breaking out and stuff, and the next time I saw her, she had the perfect remedy for it. As soon as we started talking, she asked me, "Hey, do you get your hair done often?" I said, "Man, I do, but it's so expensive." She said, "You want me to just let me try? We could, just try to figure something out." I said, "Yeah, I'll let you play in my hair." Man, she immediately started doing my hair, and it was great. She got my hair how it is right now, and she just It's always been a help. Has never been a burden to me. Always, been so just amazing to me. I've never met a woman that's nicer to me. I told my wife, I said I have a string of mean women in my past because I always understood that they weren't the women for me, and I was okay with having mean women in my life because I knew I was gonna leave them. And she was the first woman in my life that I knew that if I left her, I'd be leaving the best thing in my life and making the worst decision of my life. And I knew that pretty quickly. Um, Fell for her hard on my face, busted my chin open, fell for it. Actually, we were doing like a TikTok challenge. And she hit me so hard, she almost knocked me out. And she thought that I was gonna stop talking to her for it, but I understood how much I liked her because I wasn't even mad. I wasn't even mad at all. Like I was just like, oh, that was an accident, and that's how I knew I really liked her. I was like, because normally I would have went off, but like I wouldn't even up like, the person's for you because they can do things that are normally will set you off, and you don't mind at all. Me and my wife have never argued. And some people say, oh, y'all ain't never argued. Either you lying or that's not right. Um, we are two people who truly care about each other so much that I will let her have her way in any situation that not is going to be a detriment to both of us, and vice versa. So most arguments come because one person is so stubborn in their ways that they can't see the other side and won't let the other person have that moment. And we let each other have our moments. Now we disagree, and we may not like always come to the same conclusion, but we always will come to a point where it's not no shout match. It's not ever calling each other out our names. It's not ever belittling each other because we're working to the same goal, raising a healthy son and loving each other and enjoying our life. Because, I mean, we got a great life. So, man, I love my wife. She is the literal nicest person that I know. She's a help and betterment to every part of my business. I mean, I would not have a lot of the stuff I have. Like, between her and my sister, you can kind of homage that everything that I have is in between them two, you know. So, man, I love my wife so much. I love you, baby. Man, it's a blessing to have good women in your life. I feel like if you're a good man, the test of a good man is how many good women he got in his life. How many women will stand up and claim you publicly? I feel like that's the real test of a man. If women will stand up and claim you publicly and can say, hey, this is a good person, I'll put my name on the line, you're a good dude. So I love you, baby. I love all the women in my life. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. This is the last one that's about specific people. I'm gonna kind of go into different topics and different current event stuff and kind of throwing my role model spin on it and kind of my own ideas on stuff. But man, this was good. This was good to get out. This is very cathartic. This is almost like therapy to me. I love doing this, man. I love talking to camera. I love getting my insight, and this is gonna be something regular. But man, stay wavy, man. We always keeping it, willfully evaluating intentions, values, emotions. You gotta stay wavy, man. You gotta keep your head up. You gotta keep your head on the swivel. I love myself. I love y'all. I love God. Peace.